folks, and welcome to the 4th Spotlight video, the series where we put the spotlight on you, on players from around the world, and we get your perspective on the game, get to know you a little bit better as a person and as a player, and just kind of helps to bring the TESL community a little bit closer together. This episode features Vincenzo, and I'm very excited for this one. I've spectated a lot of his games in the past month or so, seen a lot of cardiac games, a lot of games that came down to the wire where he's pretty much, reeling on the edge and is able to make a comeback, so hoping to see some of those kind of games here today. But without further ado, this is going to be a slightly different format that you'll see. It's kind of evolving as we go. So this is going to be kind of a recorded conversation between the two of us as he's playing. So it's going to be a little bit more of an organic, interview question. He'll be talking a little bit about the plays that you see during the games, but then we'll also just be talking about life in general and all things around and of TESL and Skyrim and that whole universe. So anyway, without further ado, I present to you Vincenzo. You said this is Guildsworn Dragon?
Yeah, I really like dragon decks, and I've been trying to make one that doesn't get completely rushed down by aggro, but also can do well in the late game, and this guy already just disconnected. Cool.
Yeah, no, I was talking about Shy Davis. I guess he's feeling a little
shy there,
right,
huh?
Oh, there we go. I mean, I know there are people like that like disconnect automatically, but usually it's not on ladder. Usually it's like if in a gauntlet or something, because they just want the alternate art or whatever, so they'll just concede right off the jump. But
oh yeah, I've done that before.
So have I. Now, you said because you like dragons. How long have you been playing the game?
I think. So it's funny, I think I got the game initially when it came out on Steam a few years ago, but I had a MacBook that wasn't really able to run it that well, so I never even really got to play the game, and because it would just crash on startup every time. And I think I got the game to start once, and then I kind of forgot about the game, and that was in 2017 or whenever it came out then. So I kind of forgot about it, and then I got my PC a few years ago, and I was looking for a new game. That was probably in 2020, near the end, when I really started playing and was actually able to launch the game and start playing.
Wow, okay. All right. So, with that in mind, so you started at about the time I think is K Fluffy and them. So it's the next wave, the new wave of players. So, because I was going to, so the reason I asked, obviously just out of curiosity, is when the 3-color attribute decks came out, there were obviously everybody was playing different versions of everything, but Dragons was one of them. And I just remember then, Guildsworn was getting absolutely no love. Guildsworn Dragons, nobody, it was all, Archer or maybe Dagoth, but it just never got a love. Did you find, you said you're a fan of Dragons, do you think Guildsworn is the best, the most effective color combo for, you said, being able to, not only play them, but also play sustainably? Or was there another one that you thought was, in your experience, has been, pretty darn good as well?
Just in general, or?
Yeah, so, I mean, with this, as Guildsworn, do you think it's the best, whether it's for the meta or just, your favorite to play, or do you think there's another combo that, another house or another attribute that does it just as well?
I think it's, at least the way that I play, I think it's one of the stronger ones for me, but I would say Dagoth is probably my actual favorite to play, because I feel like that has really good options for just about everything that you need. It's got drain, it's got decent removal, and it has in those colors just some good powerful creatures to help you finish the game.
Right.
This guy.
I'm a little surprised seeing Defiler. He ever since he got nerfed. Let's see. So you came in after he got nerfed. There was I believe, there was a time where he used to summon cards like directly to the board. Like they didn't go into his hand; they actually would come onto the board. So if you could get a rage on him or something like that, or give him lethal, I mean, he could flip the entire board around. And I haven't seen him since that nerf happened.
I see him a lot. I don't know why.
Oh, do you really?
Well, I wouldn't say like
man,
a lot, but before I really started playing ranked mode, I would just kind of play casual to build up my collection, and yeah, I would see that guy a lot.
Fair enough. Okay, yeah, I mean, and it's crazy too, because like I'll hear from some folks who'll be like, oh, the meta's really like, invade heavy or something, and I'll go 2 days, maybe 8 or 9 games without seeing a single invade, but I guess experience differs, just based on what day you're playing and what you queue into. Because I think, so you're a thief. Are you close to gateway? Are you looking to break into legend before the season closes?
I was at the beginning of the month, or I was trying to, but this month was kind of, I wouldn't say it was rough. I just got like kind of busy with work. There was like, I was in rank 3 like within the first week of the month, and then like there was one time I was like at work and I was like playing, and I was like at my gateway game for I think 3-2, and then like someone came into my room at work and was like, oh hey, like we gotta go do this like thing real quick. I was like, all right, fine, go do it. And then I come back and I was like at my gateway game, and I just like went on a massive loss streak and just went straight to the snake.
Oh my gosh.
And then yeah, it's been kind of like that this month for really no reason. So I'm kind of like, if I get to it, then it's cool. But I've also been playing a new game that kind of like sucked me in. Oh my god, this guy.
Wow. Marak the Marak. Well, Marak the... Yeah, jeez.
Nicely done.
This is one of those kind of games.
Yeah. A Soul Tear would have been nice, but... Oh well.
Oof.
Yeah,
that's...
Just kill me. Just kill me, bro.
Oh, Alduin on the top, though. Oh, man. Well, yikes.
It's funny, because...
Yeah, I do...
I was gonna say, it's funny, because I have, like, about 25 prophecy cards, and they never come up when I need them.
Oh, 25. That's a healthy amount. Holy cow.
Something like that. Let me double check. Oh, 20, but that's still like almost a third of the deck, and they never come up when I need them.
Yeah. Yeah. Holy cow. Now, you said this month, for whatever reason, has been more tumultuous. I mean, are there certain times where you do see those prophecies pop up, or is it just kind of in this particular deck, it's kind of a running trend? It just, none of them ever really show up on time.
I feel like it's most of my decks. Like, I try to keep it to about where, like, about a third of my deck is prophecies, just in case, like, I get rushed down or something. But they never come up when I need them. Like, I never get that clutch javelin for whatever reason.
Right.
Or when I do, like, get a prophecy, it'll be like the Cloud Rest Illusionist, and they only have like one guy that like just attacked, and it's like, alright, cool, well this is useless now. I'll just throw it down just to get the body down.
Right, yeah. Oh man, I thought it was... Well, I gotta say, like, there are some times where I'm pleasantly surprised by prophecies showing up for some of the stuff that I've in some of my games, but overall, I actually just played a game the other day. It's all blue or blue/green, and except for Razzle-Dazzle, and I crap you not, I do that so that my ally will trigger, and I played her, and she whiffed, and I was like, so the one freaking out of 50 cards, the one card that is green. That's the one card that was on the top. So it was like the very first time I played the deck. It just did not feel good. But
yeah,
I think
hate to see that.
Yeah. So let me ask you before we go too far, because I'm just curious. So Vinchenzo, is it 2K1N? Or too kind, or
So, my name comes from basically. So my real name is Vincent, and like my stepdad, like some of my family just like call me Vincenzo. It's like a joke, I guess, or like a little nickname. And
yeah.
and so yeah, let me make sure I do that. So that's where that came from, and then the 2K1N. I was like 13 when my youngest sister was born, and when she started like trying to talk, she couldn't pronounce my name, so she'd call me Kin. So
That's awesome.
yeah, so that's like I would kind of like slap the 2K1N like in Halo or Call of Duty. You have like the I'm trying to remember what it's called, like the service tag or like player tag number that you could like slap on your character. So I'd put 2K1N, and then once I started getting into like other games, I would kind of just slap that on there because Vinchenzo2K1N, I feel like that's just so specific. It's never taken. It's always available, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so cool because like, you know, when I first see that, I think of like, I mean, it just seems to the untrained eye, it seems random. So it's like, okay, this is, you know, Vincenzo was taken, so it was like, you know, he had to go too far. But that's awesome. He kind of comes pre-packaged that, like, you're like, I know this is my go-to, and it has a deeper meaning for you than just, you know, it's not it kind of looks random if you don't know, but that it actually has an actual deeper meaning to it that's freaking fantastic. I love it. That's why I asked, because there's usually some really good etymology behind these names.
Yeah, some like this guy's name, Saleh. Like I have no idea what that means, but who knows? Maybe it's like a play on his real name.
Yeah, exactly. Or I mean, and well, it always gets me usually the whatever they tack on at the end. Like sometimes it seems pretty obvious that it's like a birthday or something, but like 965, I'm like, I have no idea. But that kind of like you said, that number could be significant somehow. Right now, though, he is. Let's see. All right, so you know, I wasn't even asking about this one. So this is an Ebonheart deck. So this is more of a control, slay Ebonheart, I guess, right?
Yeah, pretty much the goal for this one's to try to ramp up and get to play a I don't know. Get to play Unstoppable Rage with the Pureblood Elder. Sometimes you have to do it kind of weird though. Sometimes, like I put a lot of draw on this deck to like try to get to like certain things faster. Like kind of like how this one's turning out. Like I need to try to draw into some guards faster, probably some ramp. But there's stuff like Fresh Start, Merchant's Camel to get you there faster. Cicero plus Unstoppable Rage too, if it's like a control versus control deck, and you can just kind of plop down a bunch of stuff, which I don't even know how I'm gonna. Don't even know how I'm gonna play that lane though.
It's definitely definitely coming down to it, but I think, barring a Wood or a Cud Hunter in this particular play, because you got Aelids next turn.
Yeah.
Or Aelids.
That's exactly why I love Crossbow, because slap it on the Venom Tongue or Cicero can get you some of the answers that you need a little faster.
Interesting. I guess it's kind of nice. You have, I mean, everything but the Venom Tongue. They all have summon abilities, so you don't want to beat back anything else. But all right,
he'll probably concede at this point.
Yeah, that's usually what happens, unless he's sitting on some kind of, or he knows he's got some kind of silence. You think this is or you know. Not a lightning bolt.
Killing you will make an excellent story.
How much drain do you run in this?
Probably not as much as I should. There's Brynjolf and I think it's like the 8/8 vampire that gets you whatever it kills.
Yes. Oh yeah, the Night Talon Lord.
Yeah, that one. But usually,
He's kind of a bit ubiquitous.
yeah, usually it comes down to having to just kind of slow them down. I mean, like, because right now I can't really even attack with Brynjolf, which I'm gonna have to play him anyway. But
Shall we put in a dishonest day's rent?
I should.
Oh, I see. If he doesn't kill off his, or you, I guess yeah. If you leave the Firebrand, I guess that's a chance it could do something shady.
Yeah, and I feel like he has something for that guard there, so I'm just gonna put 2 in the way just to be really safe.
Yeah.
I keep a spare blade in my
Okay.
purse.
Nice. If he doesn't kill off that Firebrand, then you're in really good shape.
I'll cripple you.
Nope. To the side.
Oh well. As I say, YOLO PS5.
Yellow PS. What's the PS5? I would assume it's
it was this like
PlayStation.
stupid like meme that I saw a while ago when the PS5 came out, and it was like some guy was trying to take leave. I think he was in the Air Force. He's trying to take leave to go like hang out at a store and get a PS5, and his command said no, and then he got in trouble because he responded with like he ended up not showing up to work, and they were like, "Where are you?" And he responded with YOLO PS5.
This day is mine.
All right.
It's a
Do your work.
good thing you got rid of the whatever the 1/1. Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we'll just pinch this one off. Never mind.
That's right. I don't think he's got a. Well,
It could be a prophecy.
no, you got it in both lanes. Yeah.
Prophecy, battle mage, but it kind of seemed like it was. It's kind of like a burn, also prophecy.
Yeah. No, yeah. I think he just got lucky. I'm sure he runs. You know, I mean, with battle mage, there's a lot of really good cards that you want to run. Nice. That you want to run, like lightning bolts and things like that. That you know, you don't run them because they're prophecies. You run them because they're actually good. I think battle mage has a lot of those, and although cast out's a little bit out of the norm.
Yeah, I mean, I run that in a. I think I run it in this one like burn deck because sometimes there's just like a guard in the way that you just want to get rid of and do it cheaply while you have other stuff. And sometimes it's clutch if it comes out on a prophecy, but I tend to not use it that much.
Yeah. Well, that's one of those. You know, it's a can you stabilize just like it always seems to be that way in those kind of control aggro matches. It's either you curve out, or that you know they're able to push just that last bit of damage, or you're able to just recover before they're able to push it in. It's never like it always seems like it's almost always close.
Yeah, like I've won games like on 1 health or like coming back from like 1 health, which I think I've popped up in one of your videos like that. I think it was I don't remember what deck I was playing, but I think it might have been one of my Dagoth ones. But I remember
Yeah.
the guy had me down to like 1 to like 3 health, and I was able to like bring it back.
I think you've had a couple like that actually. That's like that became kind of like I don't know. It's like because you see some people play and like you have like a certain impression, even if you haven't met them or talked to them, you start to get a kind of impression for what they play. So I mean, there is one guy that I kind of unfortunately had to stop watching because every time I looked in, he was playing Invade. But you know, something like that where like enough of your games were kind of that that dynamic that was like, oh, hey, all right, well, it's always going to be high stakes with this guy.
Yeah, comeback kid. Mm-hmm. All right, so I'm testing out a singleton that A. Ross actually sent me it because we share, or sometimes he'll like. There's been times where I've gone up against A. Ross like 3 times in a row on the ladder.
No
yeah,
kidding.
And he destroys me every time, but he'll be like, "Oh, what deck are you playing?" And then I'll send him the list, and he's like, "All right, I got a better version for you." And he'll help me out, update my list. A lot of people are cool like that in NPO.
Nice. So so he was in it a little bit longer than you, but how did you end up in NPO? Like how did that go about end up happening?
So I want to say it was like in May of this year. I'm on the like Legends Facebook group and stuff because I love this game. And I was like, that's when I was like looking to try to start playing ranked mode because I was very close to filling out the collection at that point. And so I just made a post like on the Facebook group. I was like, hey, like I see like the friends, the .NPO, the AZZ. I see like those tags. I was like, so people are in clans and stuff. I was like, how do I get into that? And A. Ross like messaged me on Facebook. He's like, hey, like hop into our Discord. And so I did that, and I did that, got added into the Discord, and it's kind of funny because like once I got in there, they have like the whole like they call it the foyer where you're not like actually in, you're like kind of like a guest. And I was like asking like, all right, so like how do I actually get in? Like what do I gotta do? Who do I gotta talk to? Okay, this guy.
Yeah.
I'll just rip this band-aid off because he's gonna do it.
Yeah. Yeah, these are scary. I guess this is just I don't know what he's using red for, but like you see this in Assassin all the time where it's every card I'm going to play is going to be something that does damage to your face for the most part.
Yeah, it's definitely an aggro list. So yeah, and it's funny because I was in that Discord and I was like, all right, well, I guess like I'm in the Discord, so I can just like tag up, and I did that, and apparently we're not supposed to do that. So yeah, Ross was like, hey, did anyone tell you to tag up? And I was like, oh no, I just kind of figured. But that was like also the month that I made Legendary for the first time, so they kind of just added me in after that.
Right. Well, that's cool. Wow. So that was a very well, I wouldn't say smooth, but pretty more or less smooth transition into the clan.
Alright, you're probably wondering why I played him without exalting, and it's because I just need to get rid of some cards.
No, for sure.
They always have the Cliff Racer.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I run it in a lot of stuff, so I can't hate it too much, but I hate hearing that sound on a. When it's exact, you're 4 away, and they just 2 cards in hand, and it's the sinking pterodactyl.
Yeah, in a 75 card deck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I mean. Aside from, I guess he played that one support that does 2 damage every turn, so I guess that's actually not. I don't think I've seen that before. I think that's actually kind of smart for that kind of deck. Otherwise, I didn't know why he'd run strength in that, but
probably for stuff like Fiery Imp and the Dragon Knight.
Oh, right.
Which I don't know if I want to jump in on the train and play some really aggro stuff either.
Go with what your heart tells you, man. That's so. A lot of times I'll play like mid range or something like that. I'll do it as long as I can, and unless I either you know, I'm up against a bunch of greedy control or a bunch of aggro, and then I kind of lose my mind and just go aggro for about, you know, 4 or 5 games just to kind of cleanse the palate.
Yeah, I find it so funny because like I switch, like I'm always at like the maximum amount of decks that I can have. Like I always have to delete one to make a new one, but I have like a ton of stuff that I rotate through, and like I just always feel like, all right, like I go against like 3 aggro games, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna also play aggro, and then right after that I go up against like a mid-range deck that has like every answer for like my aggro cards. I'm just like, all right, I'll play control, and then I get rushed down by aggro again. It's like, all right. Can't ever have the right card sometimes, or the right deck.
Yep. Well, you know, and it's. I mean, as much as it sucks, I think that's something we all have in common. I used to think it was just me that kind of had that crappy luck, but obviously, you know. And I saw. Did you pick up those premium guardians on your? I guess was it 2 months ago?
Well, let's see if we can find
The
some
legendary, getting to legendary ranks, or did you already have those?
I crafted 3 regular ones, but yeah, I literally crafted the 3rd regular one that I needed, and then that was like the same month that I first made legendary, and I saw that was the month of reward. I was like, oh cool, I just wasted 400 soul gems or 800, whatever it is.
The moons give this.
Yeah.
But I was at least able to dust them.
Right, yeah, that's always the nice perk whenever you're able to replace, because that's how I try to convince myself when I'm like, I just did a premium. Crap, I don't remember what it was. I splurged on a oh no, I didn't. Anyway, but when I do, I try to tell myself, well, I'm getting 400, you know, gems back. But when you're crafting a premium legendary, you know, it's like, okay, yeah, it's costing you 4,800, but boy, you're getting that 400 back.
Yeah.
It's not quite as. It's hard to justify.
Alright, so I'm guessing this guy's playing some kind of hand buff veteran. Especially with the Faded Wraith. That's usually a indicator for that.
Yeah, you don't really see, I mean, you don't really see it too often outside of that, because I guess the 1 card draw for 5 is not ideal. Let's see. What was I gonna? Oh yeah, I forgot to mention you had that one premium. It's the 2/3 guard that has some of the best like premium effects on there. It's got like the torchlight, and like his body is lit by it, and it's got like torches on the side and the back. I was like, holy cow, that's like a. I was very impressed. I might actually have to craft that. I think it's a common as well.
Oh, the
Look pretty darn nifty.
the city guard, I think that's what it is.
Yeah, I think he's got prophecy, the 2/3.
Purple guy.
Yeah,
Da da dee da.
yeah, he's pretty. He looks really good. So, some cards aren't that great, or are just kind of like whatever. But then you see him in premium, it's like, ooh, I must have that. It is. Oh no, Luzra the cake. Sweet roll. I mean, well, the good news is you're running him out of cards there, and he hasn't touched your life, so you're in pretty good. Well, okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say we both haven't really touched each other's health.
Yeah. I wonder. I'm like, because the only time I've ever done that with a hand buff deck, I've got like a ton of charge creatures that I'm trying to buff up and, you know, hit almost like an OTK. I wonder if he's doing something like that, or if he's got something else in his side.
The light of the 3.
Guess we'll find out.
I usually get aggroed by these decks.
Well, now, so I was thinking this was a control list, but I see Garnag in there. Is that now? You know, I'm certainly not a pro, so when I question, it's not accusatory. Do you just like you want to fill the board and then play him so that your opponent's kind of hamstrung, or is this not tech? Is this more of a mid-range deck?
So this is a mid-range deck, and Garnag's in there for when you're going up like late against like Telvanni or I mean, really, all the annoying cards are green and purple, but yeah, just to like shut that kind of stuff down. Like
Nice.
stop Alien Guardians from coming down.
Oh yeah. So will you, if he's in, like, let's say you could play him on curve turn 4, but you realize you're probably up against, or you're definitely up against a control deck, will you forego the, like, playing him on curve in order to hold him back for the late game, or will you sometimes deploy him just to get him out of your hand?
I usually hold him. Like, I probably wouldn't really ever play him until like probably like this turn I would play him. Like, I probably should have played him that last turn to stop a rage coming down, but I also play very weird. First Rune Prophecy, love it.
Yeah. Especially in a game like this where you've been kind of holding off, more or less. It's just like, I'm biding my time, here we go. I'm finally going to take the plunge, and it's like, nope, punished. Come on, game, do you want me to play or not?
The light of the three.
Now, was Legends, was this your first CCG, or had you played like Magic the Gathering or Gwent or other games like that?
Oh, this one was my my first one, and it's really the only one that I play. Like, you know, I had Yu-Gi-Oh cards and Pokemon cards growing up, but I don't know what any of the card text on any of them meant. I just had a bunch of them just to have them. And yeah, this is my first one. I was kind of like what I said earlier. I was just like looking for a new game on Steam, and I was like, oh, Elder Scrolls has a card game, and I love the Elder Scrolls games. I've played all of them.
Oh, nice.
So I was like, that's cool. And then I just got sucked right into it as soon as I started playing. And then I also made the mistake, because Oblivion specifically is my favorite one of the Elder Scrolls games, and when I first got into the game, you know, I got this free game, and I was like, alright, well, I was looking to spend $60 on a game, so I'll buy $60 worth of cards. And I was like, oh, they have a Oblivion themed like entire set of cards. I was like, I'll spend $60 on that. And then
Oh, no!
and then I immediately realized that everyone hates that.
Oh gosh. Oh, that sucks. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean, that's a common mistake. Yeah, that's, somebody brought that up. It was a few videos ago, or you know, in a conversation, just that, especially like new players, if you don't know, you know, the history behind, or you know, like the game history with that release and the invade mechanic and all of that, you know, new players of the game, like, they'll play invade not thinking too much about it, or like you, they'll, you know, buy the cards, and it's not until later you realize, oh, this is
Yeah,
this
like
is
everyone hates playing with me.
besmirchment upon the game.
Like, oh, no one has fun with me. Whoops.
Yeah. Which, hey, you know, it's interesting too. Like, and I appreciate you said it, you phrased it that way. Maybe you didn't mean to, but like, that's half of the reason why certain cards, like, I don't play certain cards like Invade. It's not even whether or not I would be bored. It's just, if I know that I hate playing against it, it's like, I'm not going to put somebody else through that. Like, there's a reason I hate it. Oh no, so that was their end game, and you have an ice storm.
Yeah. Sorry, man.
Yep. I mean, he's going to have one? Yeah, one's going to survive.
But not in the lane that he needs it.
No. Yeah. Beautiful ice storm.
But first...
Oh.
I'll try to draw their fire.
Oh wait, I could have won there. Oh well. I do that a lot too.
Oh.
Just realize, like, oh wait, I had it there, and I goofed it. At least I think I did.
Yeah. Well, so I didn't. What were you like with the douche and dagger, or like poking the? Oh no. Oh man, he got him at the right time too.
Did he top deck that one?
Oh jeez. I mean, if it helps at all, I don't. I mean, you may have, if you saw it. wasn't even looking. I thought.
I think it. So if I Cloud Rest illusioned the
I'll clear a path.
one of the guards,
I'll clear a path.
then I could have just executed it.
Oh yes, yeah. Well, there you go. Better late than never. Not...
We must protect our stronghold.
Preparations. We'll see how they like someone who fights.
All right, don't gain like 12 health.
Oh, you know what? This is when Chanter comes down. Doggone it! This is when that I hate that card so much because it has screwed me so many times. It comes down all buffed. It's like an 8/8. They heal for like 2,000 points or something. It's obnoxious. Let's hope that's not the case. Like this is bringing back horrible, horrible memories for me.
I know a short.
Dude, come on.
Yep, all three of them. Three attribute deck. All three forerunners. At the last minute.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't have gone all in, but always be gambling.
Yeah. What was it? YOLO 2K, YOLO
YOLO PS5.
PS5.
Yeah. YOLO PS5.
Try to hit this.
So you mentioned like, and I'm like you, like I have not found another CCG that anything close to what Legends is, and I wasn't. I mean, I didn't grow up like, I didn't find Elder Scrolls until like 5 years after Skyrim came out, or maybe it was even longer than that. So I don't know as much lore as a lot of other folks, but once I did, get into the game and I realized that was here. That's also why I gave it a shot. But you mentioned like this is the only one. What is it you think? Like, is it just the fact that it's Legends, or that it's tied to Elder Scrolls, or is there something else about the game that like just makes it pretty much your go-to?
I definitely, the fact that it's Elder Scrolls like sold it for me. Like
We must protect our stronghold.
like the first time I saw like the Alduin card, I was like, dude, like they have a card for Alduin, and like he does exactly like what he would do like in the game, just fucking destroys everything. Like that's cool.
We'll see how they like someone who fights.
But then yeah, I started like just playing it more, and
I'll clear a path.
like I've tried playing some other card games like since then, but I already have like the whole collection pretty much. Ooh, okay. I wish this had breakthrough, but alright, where was I?
Oh, did you have the most of the collection? at
Oh
this
yeah,
point?
so I have most of the collection, so I'm kind of like invested in this. Like since I started playing this, I've gotten
I'll clear a path.
I have gotten
As long as I draw breath.
Question's great.
Fight with the fervor of the wild hunt.
Ooh.
yeah, I've tried out a few other card games since then, but like my brother, so I got my brother and my wife into this game like when I first started playing it, and I play with them sometimes. But like my brother plays a different card game called Flesh and Blood, and he's tried teaching me how to play that, and I have like no idea how that game works. It's very complicated. But so I like, and I've even told him, I was like, I wish like that game had like an online client like Legends to like automate some of the stuff that you do in that game. Just like that would make it a lot easier for me to get into.
Oh, you're talking. So it's old school. It's like the actual cards, not an online game.
Yeah, the most you can do to play it online is play it in Tabletop Simulator,
Okay.
and that by itself kind of gets really clunky.
Oh, dude. Oh, dude. Oh my goodness gracious. Doing the Vincenzo. Look at that hot dog. And all the cards. Nice. Woo-wee.
Come back.
That was looking nasty there for a second. Good night.
And that's why I call myself the comeback kid.
Yeah. keeping the theme alive. Hey, it's definitely not. I call myself the comeback kid, but that's because I keep uninstalling the game when I get ticked off, and I got to come back to the game a couple months later. But that's definitely the ideal comeback. Look at that hot dog. It's been a long time since I've seen a Crusaders Assault Rage.
Yeah, it's so underrated. Like, I don't think I've ever had that played against me, but I do it all the time.
Yeah, you know, for somebody who because I love Rage myself, just as a card, just it feels good to play it. But as somebody who does, I still am almost always caught off guard when my opponent does it to me. Like, I never see it coming. I think I'm the only one who plays Rage. It's like, well, what happened? He just did it to me. That's not right.
It's funny because I used to see it so much in casual mode. Like, everyone would do that, and I would always get so mad because it'd always be like an Ebonheart deck that has like 100 cards in it, and they have like all the big stuff like Night Talon Lord, just like all the big obnoxious cards, and like that's like all it seems like that they're playing. And I like this Ebonheart deck that I'm using and that you usually spectate me using. I literally called it like stupid shit because like all those people playing that like kind of inspired me to make it. And I was like, I think I can do it but better. I'm not going to use 100 cards, and I'm not just going to use all the big unique legendaries. And I say that while I have 2 unique legendaries in my hand.
Well, you know, I mean, that's all right. It's all right. But I mean, you like the typical. You have to play. I mean, Joram Joran is almost an auto include just because there's very few. Like, if you're not playing veteran, there's really no 3-color. There's nothing in the Ebonheart colors that's worth playing. For the most part, like he's so he's passable. And Brynjolf, I mean, he's been around forever. So. I always think of him as what's his face, Lord of the Ring, Boromir. Like, for some reason, he's always looked like Boromir to me. Not in the game. In Skyrim, he looks nothing like that. But
yeah, but the specific card art.
Yeah. So now, I mean, it sounds like you, despite not like you didn't come from Magic the Gathering or anything like that. So being relatively new to collectible card games, seems like you got off to a really good start. Have you had, aside from maybe this season, have you had like a drought or a really hard time with the game where it just seemed like you were spinning your wheels, couldn't get anywhere, or has it been for the most part pretty smooth sailing?
I would say so. Like, I haven't really played ranked mode that much actually. I tried earlier this year in about February. Yeah, it was like February and March. That was like, because I was at a school in Virginia, and I had like nothing better to do, like every day after class. So I was like, all right, like I'll finally get to like Legend this month, and I went from like 12 to 2. So like I got stuck in 2, but that was also like being busy like every day. So that was probably like the only other time that I've been like, oh, so close, but I can't reach it. Other than this month has been the most annoying month, I would say.
Yeah.
Because sometimes work just gets busy, and I'll bring my PC into work and play like during downtime at the end of the day. But this month has just been particularly busy at work.
Gotcha. So for you, it's more so a lack of just a lack of time. It's not like you're yo-yoing up and down the ladder or anything like that. It's mostly just if you can carve out enough time in your day to make the climb, you're pretty good to go.
Yeah, I would say mostly yes, but then when I do have time, then I start yo-yoing back and forth. Like I think it was like last week, like rank 2, I was just like, there was a day where I went all the way up to like the gateway game, and then all the way back down to the bottom of the snake, and like I'm like the span of like 10 games it takes to like do that, or however many it is.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Like, it's definitely happened, but I also have myself to blame this month because my brother got me into Divinity Original Sins.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I like immediately got sucked into that game. I probably got it like last week, and I have like 60 hours in it. So I kind of have myself to blame this month for not playing Legends, because yeah, that game is just a ton of fun.
Yeah. I got it. I started it a while back, and it was kind of like you were saying, like at a time in my life when I didn't have a heck of a lot of didn't have a lot of time. So I was like, I'm going down a rabbit hole. I'm gonna have, like, in college I played, there's a RTS game called Star Wars Galactic Battlegrounds, kind of like Warcraft, and I ended up playing that thing till like 4 in the morning while I'm in college. I got tests, I got projects, and I'm playing this computer game for I don't know, 8 or 9 hours a day. So I saw myself going that way, and so I had backed off it, but I need to get back into it. How far have you gotten in it?
I think I just started the final act. At least on my solo playthrough, because like now you can play it with friends, and like because my brother and like someone that he went to boot camp with like plays it, and like one of his other Steam friends. But like, so we have like playthroughs where it's like, oh, there's like 3 people in this playthrough, 4 of us like in this playthrough. Like my wife saw me playing and she's like, oh, I want to play that too. So I have a playthrough with like just my wife.
Nice.
That's where most of the time has come in. Just having like so many different playthroughs, and they're all like all over the place. But yeah, I think I'm like near the end of the game on my solo playthrough.
Okay. Very cool. Yeah, so you have been hitting it, because I think it's what, like at least a 20-hour game, like probably closer to 30 or 40.
It's probably closer to 40 if you do everything. I kind of rushed the beginning part because I had already played it like 5 times with like my brother and stuff. So I was like, I need to rush through all this like beginning stuff first.
Put in a dishonest day's
Well, I mean, it's great to diversify a little bit. I appreciate. I mean, when I started doing the side, when I finally got the stuff set up so that I could actually do, like other games, like just being able to play those, like they're not nearly as there isn't as much audience for them, but it just kind of helps break up, TESL, which it just makes you appreciate it more, and it doesn't never it stops from getting old.
Yeah, that's why like sometimes I take breaks from even like Legends. Like I'll at least log on to like get the daily rewards, but like I play so many other things too. Like I play Age of Empires. Like I play a lot of games with my brother because well, he's currently moving like from Georgia to California, but like,
oh geez,
that's like our one way to like bring it back, like when we were kids, like playing games together on the couch, Sometimes like one of my sisters will be able to hop into a game too, but yeah, we play like a bunch of different stuff, like Age of Empires, Left 4 Dead, now Divinity, just whatever.
And Age of Empires. Go ahead.
I was saying, like, just whatever we're feeling that day. Sometimes we'll just like hop into a Discord call and we're just like, all right, what are you feeling today?
Oh, so this is all remote, except for I guess your wife. Like everything, when you play with them, it's kind of like we're doing now.
Yeah, pretty much. Because my brother just got out of the Air Force. He did his 4 years, and he's getting out. But he was in Georgia, now moving to California, and then the rest of my family's in Texas. So it's a nice way for us to like talk somewhat consistently. I really wish I could draw some card draw.
Yeah.
Because I have a lot of it, but I'm not getting any of it.
Now, do you come? So, I mean, you mentioned your brother's in the Air Force, and I don't know that we talked about it yet, but you mentioned you're in the Coast Guard.
Yeah.
Do you come? Is it like a military family? Like, do you all have that background, or do you just all say, "Hey, let's do it"? Hey, card draw.
Not really. Like some of like my uncle was in the Air Force, and like my great grandpa, but not like everyone. Not like everyone who can is in. I mostly did it because I was struggling when I was like 20, and I was like, I need a stable job.
Fair enough. I actually tried to get into the Air Force. Oh no. Oof. Hey, there's your prophecy. You got one.
Yeah.
Pretty good time for it too.
No man can deny his destiny.
Oh. All right. Well, there's your OTK if you can.
Martin has actually surprisingly clutched a lot of games, especially like this where people can't answer him immediately.
Yeah, I was surprised even like in competitive play. I think it's only happened like once or twice, and it really comes down to a situation like this where they're top decking, and they just can't get the answer fast enough. But when I first saw the card's ability, I was like, nobody's ever going to get this to go off. He's going to be an immediate silence or remove, but it does happen.
I think he recognizes that it's going to happen in like 2 turns unless he gets rid of it.
Uh-huh.
But
man, this was an ugly battle, I tell you, with the getting rid of the workshop, and I guess he never drew his automaton guy.
I don't like to crap on decks that other people play, like Invading Workshop, but you know, that's what you get for playing Workshop.
Right? Yeah. Yep. I think I may have, well, I shouldn't say lost a friend, but there was a gentleman that we had pretty steady communication, and I was even preparing to do a spotlight, but I think my disdain for Market kind of put him off a little bit, because we just abruptly stopped talking. It was shortly after, I think, there was a game where I was just talking about the woes, the smell of the Market. And it's not all Market, but it's, I mean, once they did... what is that? Because it wasn't always this bad. It was... This guy played it too. The 5 cost that gets reduced every time you hit face.
Oh,
that is
Spoils of
draw
War.
2. Yes. Yeah, ever since that came out, it had just been it's very hard to actually win. Even in, like the Hexagauntlet, where you can have all your counters, you can have all your stuff to remove all the stuff. I mean, granted, it's a different atmosphere. You have, 6 markets or whatever. But oh, there it is. There it is. We got to the avatar. Kapow! Nice. Now I'm nervous. We got such good games here. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm still recording, right? Yeah, I'm still getting everything.
hopefully my voice is still recording. Alright, cool, it is. Yeah, literally right now, like, I'll have games like that, and I'm still, like, 1 win away from the bottom of the Thief.
Really? Oh man, see, I thought you were about to say one win away from the Gateway. I was like, sweet, we're gonna see a break into Legend, but no, if you're... But, I mean, like I said, it sucks, but it is a bit of encouragement for, I think, anybody else. You say, okay, here's a regular, somebody who gets to Legendary often, builds good decks, and, they still have kind of a rough time of it. It seems some people, it's especially the earlier games when you had your Justin Larsons and your Charmers and stuff, you'd watch them play and just, now granted, they would a lot of times it would take selective games. They just didn't play 10 games and you got what you got. They would play games where Charmer didn't. He would say, we're going to play 2 games, win or lose, But he usually won, and same with Justin. And it was just like, you see that and you're going, why can't I do that?
Yeah.
But
You're like, let me just build that deck. And then it turns
Yeah,
out to like
yeah.
not work out well for you because, I mean, kind of like what A-Ross said, like, you know, like the person makes a deck good.
Yep. Especially if there's any nuance. I mean, obviously you can make like kind of a hard-nosed aggro in various kinds, and it's pretty straightforward on how you're supposed to play and when you're supposed to trade. But I think, and not to come out there, but like K Fluffy's put together, I've watched him play these decks, and he does amazing with them. And he'll be like, oh yeah, I'll let you play it, and I'll take it. And I have no idea what to do with it because it's not, not paint by numbers essentially. And so I don't get the same results. And it's like, yeah, if there's any nuance in it, you really need to know the deck or know what you're doing in general to make use of it to actually have the same results. You can't just throw down a good deck and expect to come away with a win.
Yeah, I totally agree with that because I think I played against him in a gauntlet. It was either K Fluffy or Shake It Baby, who's another person in NPO. But I played against them, and they were like, "Hey, try out this token deck," and it was like I think it was a Crusader token deck, and I tried it out, and I have like not won a single game with it. But like that dude also like always hits legendary like really fast and places pretty well in it. But and he uses decks like that, but I can't make it work. I don't know how to use token decks well, so. And I was gonna say like I'm not a like fantastic player. I just sometimes I have time to play a lot, but
right.
I will keep TESL's people alive.
Where are they going with that? Pretty much play what you're good with, but even if it's, I don't want to say even if it's Invade or Workshop because everyone hates that, but it is just a game after all.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing though. So like I remember I played a good friend of mine. We were friends for a long time, but like we played Monopoly together, and it's just me and him, just a friendly game, nothing on the line. And like by Monopoly rules, you're supposed to. What is he up to here? You can't get a Monopoly unless you get all the 3 properties, and sometimes you just have a crappy roll, and or they have good rolls and they get all the properties. Bottom line was we got down to it where he had three monopolies essentially by, I don't know, 10 minutes into the game, 15 minutes into the game. And I was like, all right, let me trade you for 1 or 2 cards that would give me a monopoly. And he wouldn't do it. And I was like, that's fine. Like, I mean, that's how you win. But if we're trying to actually play the game, like actually have, get kind of a volley going, get something going, like, I'm not asking for you to hand me the game, just, let's, make some trades or do whatever. And didn't want to do it, which is, so it's like, okay, I think there's a difference between playing the game purely to win or playing a game, I don't know, it's like the difference between friendly and competitive, where it's like, okay, yeah, I mean, we're playing for fun, but it's not fun if you play, certain decks, certain deck types. It's just it's a peculiar thing to say because it just sounds like, kind of sulking, but like I think that's the difference. It is just a game, but it's like, but if you don't enjoy playing it because certain things are just screwy.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. Like, because I mean, like I said, when I first started playing, I would play Invade because that's like all you get when you first start. But if you're smart enough to realize that people hate playing against you, then maybe you should do something different.
Right.
Because I didn't feel like the thing that I hate about playing Invade is that like people will just like concede on you or they'll start roping you, and that makes the game not fun for either of you. So
yeah,
that's when I was like, all right, maybe I should start buying some like other card packs from a different set, and maybe I'll only use Invade when I'm like grinding against the AI. Which is the best way to do it. Yeah, that's what I used to do. Yep. Because it was easy, I think, by turn 4, especially if I had Invasion Party, turn 4 or 5, I could close it out, guaranteed against the AI to farm those gems. Yep. Yeah, so nice. I definitely remember, like, when I first got the game, I tried playing ranked mode, and all I had was, like, an Invade deck. That was, like, the only thing I could win with. Because it was the only thing that I had, like, a good amount of the cards that I needed for it to work. But
Yeah.
like I just ran into that issue where like everyone starts roping you, or they just start like spamming the time to die weekly. And I was like, okay, everyone clearly hates this. I'm gonna play something different. Like, I'm not having fun, they're not having fun. It is just a game, but you know, I don't necessarily play to win. I mean, it's nice to win a lot, but you know, sometimes it's more about having fun, or something cliche like that.
I'll take it. I think that's legit, and that kudos to you, because you know I think that's like I said, it just it bespeaks to character, just to be like, okay, you know what, they're not having fun, I'm not having fun. I may have spent $60 on this expansion because it rocks in the game that I love, but I'm willing to break it up and try something a little different. I'll be honest, because I don't think I ever took Invade on the ladder, so I don't know what it's like what you know, the hostility that comes from the other side. So, but I am a little dismayed at that kind of like for me. I mean, if you've seen my videos, like a lot of times I'll just concede. I'm like, hey, I'll give you the win, I just don't want to play against it. But you know, to hear people, you know, doing the taunt thing or whatever, I'm like, that's kind of low rent. You know, that's not a good look in general. Like, if you don't like something, you don't trump that by being a jerk about it.
Yeah, I'm the same way too. Like, if Invade gets out of hand, I don't like just sit there and rope out my turns. I'll just instantly concede. Like, if it's turn 3 and they invaded like 4 times somehow, and I don't have like an immediate answer, then I'm just like not gonna play the game. Or
yeah,
like that workshop game that just happened. Like, if it got out of hand and I just didn't draw like my Dushniks or the Giants to get rid of it, then it's just a concede at that point.
Yeah. Let's see, Dwarven armaments. That's organic, right? Dwarven, or was that from something and I missed it?
Yeah, that's.
Sorry,
I have that in the deck because sometimes getting that on like a. I have Brynjolf and Baron Zaya in this deck, so sometimes getting them off on. Why can't I play that? What?
Well, I mean, it's giving you the win right here. That's freaking fantastic.
Oh, he put Ebon Thread Cloak on it. Yeah. Alright.
Kabook.
Nicely done.
Love seeing cards like that don't get a lot of love. Just seeing that. That's why I had to ask. I was like, I think I run it in 1 or 2 decks, but not very often, and I never ever see it run. So it's good to see that. Put in some good work here.
Yeah, it's really good for reach, or slapping it on a big drain creature that was able to stay alive, and just swinging for a lot of health when you really need it. But it's also a singleton deck, so like sometimes it just sits in my hand.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know. Sometimes like. I'm not the greatest multitasker, so like if we're having a great conversation like this one, like I'm watching the game, but sometimes it's not always processing, so I didn't even notice it was. You didn't get like Sets Masterwork or Siege or anything, right? Like I didn't miss any of the obvious tells.
Oh no, I didn't even draw any of those.
Okay, just making sure, because man, if those were there, I would have liked to see. I think I would have caught them, but didn't even notice that was singleton. But now it takes some of the mystique out of it. I was like, oh man, look at him running a Dwarven armaments in a regular deck. Well, it's singleton. I mean, you're just throwing everything in those.
Yeah, that's kind of like how often I rotate through them. Like, I also kind of forgot that I was playing that in the middle of the game. But
so I guess so.
Oh no, you're good.
So I was going to ask if you have a. One of the questions I think you said is it the dragons are like ultimately your favorite? Like, if you had to go one month where you just played one deck, would it be dragons, or is there another near and dear deck that you'd be willing to go with?
It would probably be a dragon deck, but I have a Dagoth dragons list that I really like, because I think that one has more stuff for like early game, like protection, and my favorite card in general is Dagoth because it's such a dumb. It's such like just a big dumb thing that like is sometimes hard to answer, and some like getting him down sometimes is just really funny to me.
Mm-hmm.
But he's usually in my hand at like the very start, and he gets Hollow Death Priested a lot.
Yeah, yeah. And you know, I don't mind like that's hard cheese to swallow in general. But what makes it even worse is when somebody apologizes afterward, because like you're not really sorry. You didn't want to see Dagoth come down later. That's disingenuous.
Yeah.
But
that's also like the Death Priest. I hate it because whenever I play it, I always get rid of some like 2-cost card or 3-cost. But every time the opponent plays it, I have Alduin in hand on like turn 3 or Parthenax, or I have both of them, and then they like do a Night to Remember on him and get rid of like both my big dragons. I'm just like, all right, you win. I'm done.
Yep. Yep. Exactly. Yeah. Okay. I'm glad I'm not the only one, because that's exactly. That's pretty much my response. Okay, I'm done. Like, if you're gonna mummify my entire hand, I mean, I respect it to a degree. Like, okay, that's the thing. And I know we've got some folks. I won't mention anybody, Denise, but some folks that love the priest, not because it's screwing somebody over. They just think it's a cool effect or whatever. But man, that turd muffin gets on my nerves.
Yeah, I mean, like it's a really unique like effect because you're getting rid of something before they even have a chance to play it. But
yeah,
it is not fun to be on the receiving end.
And that's one that I honestly I don't play all that often. I think I had one day. It was probably about three days before my last uninstall, which was probably 6 months ago or 7 months ago now. And it was the no fun or the fun police deck, where it was like you play the Grummite, you play Death Priest. It's pretty much everything that to try to kill to kill the opponent's fun, because it was like I think I was up against Market and stuff, so it was all just removal, and I got wrecked, like because I don't know how to build decks very well, so I just thought I'll just put a bunch of those cards in there and what have you, and I still got beat. And there's nothing worse than building a deck that you think, well, this is no fun, and nobody else is gonna like it, but at least I'm gonna get the revenge against the game, only to get completely shellacked by it, despite running what you thought was going to be the answer to everything.
Yeah, I have a deck like that. It's an Empire deck, but I literally have it named like No Fun for You, because it's not fun to play against. But sometimes I get tilted, and I'll switch to that.
Yep. And now you mentioned, like you play other games, especially with family and stuff. Is there like another hobby or something else that you do like outside of like games? I mean, obviously you've got a job. I just got to ask you. So are you like on a ship a lot of the times, or is your particular role more land based, or how does that work out?
So I'm at a small boat station. So I'm not really ever on a big boat. Luckily, I would really hate that. But yeah, for the most part, it's just search and rescue and like a small amount of law enforcement. But I don't like the law enforcement stuff. That's not really why I joined. Some people are big on that, but not me. Yeah, I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna save Piercing Twilight for the eventual Call Dragon that's gonna come down.
Good man.
But yeah, mostly why I joined is like the whole search and rescue stuff.
Not enough to watch your back these days.
But I'll be in a good spot once I go back to my school and redo that, because then I'll have a nice desk job, and I will never have to worry about going onto a boat again.
Is that so? Okay, so that's a goal. So you think you might be? They call it a lifer. I don't know if that may be a present thing, but so that's primarily like you think you might. You found a career that you enjoy and you stick with it.
I definitely like always told myself like at least I'm gonna do the 4 years. after I go to my school, because then I'll actually be doing like the field of work that I want to get into, which is intelligence, and getting some
nice.
like
Okay.
experience with that, like actually using all that kind of stuff. But if I really like it at that point, then I can see myself staying in. I also have a kid on the way, so I might just have to stay in as a necessity.
Congratulations, man! Oh, is this first one?
Yeah, it'd be the first one for both of us.
Well done. Oh man, that is awesome. I know we've got some other fathers, you know, that in NPO and friends and such. When are you expecting the arrival?
In May, so it's coming up really quick.
Ooh, yeah! Wow. Oh, congratulations! That's exciting.
Thank you.
You have to start him young. You know, got to get him a little tablet or something like that, so you can teach him how to play Legends. He's got to grow up with it.
Oh yeah, my kid's gonna be sitting on my lap while I play a lot of games. My kid's gonna be a nerd.
Yeah, I will make it so. Yeah, I didn't. I presume. Is it too early to know the sex, or are you just kind of leaving that as a surprise?
Oh no, we've been telling like family and stuff, but it's a boy.
Okay, it is a boy. Nice.
Yeah.
You have to name him Razmadazzle. I guess his actual name Razmdar. Be a cool kid name. If you want to go hardcore.
I like Hannibal Traven actually.
Right. I just
name.
thought Hannibal might be a rough sell, but
Nah, everyone will be like scared of him.
yeah, for real. Although Traven's not bad, even as a first name, that's not a bad name. Although you're talking to a guy, I actually would joke, and this is probably one of the reasons why I've been single my whole life. It's like if I ever had a son, I'd want to name him Sex, because I think like Sex Gray just kind of sounds really cool. It's got a nice ring to it. It sounds like a detective from like the 50s. But yeah, not too many other folks think that works.
By the aid of
Nicely
fine
done.
battle.
All right. Work your way up. You're probably 3 away now from
Let's take a look.
Gateway.
Once it loads, let's see. 1, 2, yeah, 3 away from the Gateway game.
Nice.
How many more do you want to record? I'm not sure how much footage you have now and how much of a pain that's going to be.
Totally up. No. Well, and that's the great thing about this. It's totally up to you. If you want to do just one more. So we've got the clock is going at about 1 hour and 15 minutes. So it's definitely a good length. And honestly, the great thing about this, especially with us talking through it, I don't really have to make that many cuts. So it's literally just going to be. I'll put like a screen or something in between games, so they're not just looking at the menu. But so if we go longer, it's not a problem for me. I don't want to keep you any longer. I mean, I'm trying to think if there's any like main. Yeah, I got like maybe 1 or 2 questions. So maybe unless you want to do more, just maybe one more. We'll round up the questions and kind of put a bow on it.
Yeah, I'm down to do another game. Is there a particular deck that you want to see that you've seen me run before?
Oh, can we see the Dagoth Dragons?
Yeah, let me find it. I haven't played it in a while. I think it's kind of far down.
Poor guys. They're gathering dust.
Oh, never mind. It's actually up at the top. I'm just blind.
Oh, I've done that myself.
Dagoth is probably like the one that I play a lot too. So like right now, like 3 of them were like all in a line, like one on top of the other, and it was like sitting in the middle there, and I just kind of like ignored it. I was like, oh, it's definitely not one of those ones.
Do you have a nifty name for it, or is it like Dragon Deck 3?
No, it's literally just Dagoth Dragons. Sometimes if I think of like a clever name, I'll name it that. Like I have a burn battle mage deck that's in your face because you know it's like a burn. It's in your face. and it's hitting you in the
Right.
face.
Nice. That's a good one. That's a clever. Yeah, you and A-Ross. I think I saw some of A-Ross deck names. He's kind of like you. He's got some pretty clever names for certain decks.
May the hist aid me.
But like yours, you still know what they are, even though it's, you know, it may not actually allude to anything that has to do with a card that you're actually running or a strategy. It's like you see the deck type in the name, and you know exactly what you're working with.
Exactly. And like for the tri-mono one, I had like a purple Empire, and I called it like the Empire Ballas from like Grand Theft Auto. The guys that always wear like purple.
Right.
Like, it's like, all right, I know what that deck is.
I will keep Sotha-Sil's people alive.
All right, let's.
This is probably not going to be a good showing.
I mean, hand to Dagoth. That's a nice one to have in your hand. But yeah, I'm worried we're gonna see a. I hope that was not like the automaton daddy. It would not be good.
Repel the outlanders.
I think this guy usually plays, at least Halls of the Dwemer. I don't know if he plays, I can't remember at least off the top of my head if he plays, Workshop.
Gotcha. I was a little surprised. There was like for the folks that are do battle in the top 100 or so, at how many of them are like they're trying to just they're trying to either get top 100. I think a few of them are trying to get top 10, and they're like, I keep running up against Workshop. So apparently in the higher levels, it's not so much Invade that you see, but a lot of Workshops. But you do have a Belly G. He is hopefully going to come down in time to get rid of that. So do you have a favorite, either a favorite card like to play out? You mentioned Dagoth Ur, so I guess that's a front runner, or a card that it's like, oh, that's my, well, for lack of a better term, my spirit card. Like that card is, if it was me in the TESL world, that's who it would be.
In the games, I really like High Elves, and Onkano seems to be the best one, so probably that guy.
Nice.
When I first got my brother into the game, he got the Onkano's Cunning pre-constructed deck, and he would always clutch some games out, like, playing him when I had 5 health and just destroying me. And that was like when I was first learning the game too, and that was when I first learned that lightning bolt can hit people in the face, not just creatures. Because I accidentally hit myself in the face with a lightning bolt and I killed myself.
Yep, been there.
So yeah, either Onkano or Dagoth Ur, because those are just some really good cards. Well, I would say Dagoth Ur is like okay, because he has the issues that I mentioned earlier, where you can get Hollow Death Priesthood if you draw him early, or sometimes he just doesn't show up. And sometimes you only get like one attack at him and he just instantly gets removed.
Yep. Yeah, I remember. I think most decks. Most decks that I run him in, I find myself having to double check my deck list after like 6 games because I can't remember if I remember to put him in there because I never see him.
I'm not sure which one of these is more annoying though.
Yeah. I was gonna say I think Workshop has the worst potential. Like you know what you're getting with Halls. Workshop has there we
This
go.
guy.
Okay.
This freaking guy.
Rise, my servant.
That's all right. Still got Call Dragon, Parthenax. You got all the good. It's just that's the automaton guy. I think every time I've seen him come down, it's easily a 20-point swing. It's almost like getting Night Mother. He drains for 20, and I lose. It's just as much.
I was really hoping for one of my Dishniks or another Billy G. I run a lot of support removal because I think supports are like just the most powerful cards in the game. I mean, like look at this, what's happening.
Yep. I mean, Wildfire's gonna Really, oh, that's so beautiful. Sometimes there's just never really a good board for him, like, or half your deck could get wiped out when he comes down, but stuff like that is just chef's kiss. Oh, goodness gracious. Interesting. I can understand if this is mono neutral, but I guess yeah. All right. I was gonna say not even Odaving's gonna really do much there.
The forest is my cloak.
Nice, nice. So do you have like I said, it's fantastic having high level, being able to talk to high level players. Do you have any advice for either new players or just players in general? Things that maybe either weren't like obvious to you when you started playing that other people might not, or just things that you see a lot that you're going, hey, don't do this, or try going this way, or anything like that. Oh, goodness gracious.
All right. As far as advice, I would say, geez, man, come on.
Yeah.
As far as advice, I would say, buy some of the.
Yeah, I'm all thumbs.
What do you mean, dude? You're gonna win. I would say buy some of the pre-constructed decks if you are like just getting into the game, because like I was saying with my brother getting like the Onkano's Cunning, like that has some like pretty decent cards in it. I don't think there's really anything I can do to win this one. But maybe watch some videos, see what other people play to give you an idea of what cards to like look for, because I mean, like, there's some cards that I didn't get until a very long time into playing it. Like, I didn't get multiple copies of, like, I didn't even have a Daggerfall Mage until like this year. So
wow.
There's like some cards that you should really look for because they'll help you. Okay, that's nice.
Yeah. Ooh, boy.
Alright, don't kill the word wall.
Yep.
Alright.
It's okay.
That's fine. Yes, thank you.
Wow. That's the way to end it. That is Vincenzo to a T right there. The heart racing, cardiac, scary. Oh, good stuff, man. Wow. Well, that did not disappoint. We got some good nail biters in there. Fantastic conversation. I had a lot of fun. Probably could have gone on for another 2 hours. Vincenzo, I got to applaud you. I don't know how in the world you did that, answering the questions, holding that conversation, and playing at that level, because I was focused all the time on the conversation, and so I found myself sometimes like the game was coming in and out of focus because like I'm just focusing on what's going on and what's being said. My conversational skills go to crap when I'm trying to multitask. So kudos to you for being able to juggle both. Don't know that that's going to be everybody. I would like to do other spotlights in this vein. I think that may be a little better. You all can give me your feedback on that too. If you just preferred, having some sound bites in there, I think this is much better. It gives a much more natural answer to some of the questions and just, allowing to go the conversation where it needs to go. But like I said, somebody like me, even if I was on the other side and somebody was asking me questions, you would see a lot of long turns because I'd give my answer and say, give me a second, let me do this, and work the play out and then come back and talk. So anyway, thank you so much for being willing to do this video. Looking to do more in the future now that I'm kind of getting back into the swing of things, back from vacation and all that stuff. So hopefully going to be doing some more spotlights. I don't know if I'll be able to do one every week, but ideally it would be every Wednesday or every other Wednesday. The video would be a spotlight like this one. So if you're interested, let me know. That's all some other folks have done. I have reached out at different points, but and so hopefully I've got a couple of folks that are on the docket, but we got some scheduling to work out. But yeah, certainly if you're interested, this is something you'd be down with. The more the merrier. Like I said, it'd be great. Have 400 of these videos, and everybody pretty much gets to know everybody else. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. Vincenzo, thank you again for playing and for enduring all my questions and conversational gymnastics. And until next time, keep playing.